So in this video I'm going to be going over game 2 from Prep Test 61. We have 6 players, F, H, J, N, P, and T. Okay, none of which are the same age, and we're ordering them from first to sixth. So this is a sequencing game. The figurine is older than the jar and the headdress. The necklace and the jar are older than the touring. And either the plaque is older than both the headdress and the necklace, or both the headdress and the necklace are older than the plaque. So I'd probably just do that on the same diagram. Have a little question mark beside the P. So those are our 2 options. Okay. All right, question 6. So we're just going to go rule by rule. So F has to be before J and H. So D is out based on rule 1. N and J have to be before T. Okay, so E is out. And the plaque has to be either before H and N or after H and N. So P before H and N or after. So C is out. 3, so between A and B there's got to be something else going on. So for A we have F, H, J, N, then P, then T. So A looks good. For B, we have F, then J, then P. Okay, no problem there yet. Then H, ooh, then T, then N. Okay, so N should be before T. Okay, so that was rule 2. So I missed that one when I was applying rule 2. Question 7. Exactly how many of the artifacts are there, any one of which could be first? Okay, so we know that H, J, and T cannot be, but there's no reason to think that F couldn't be, or that N couldn't be, right? If P is after N and H, then that would be fine. And P could also be first if P is before N and H. So C, 3. Question 8. Which one of the following artifacts cannot be fourth? Okay, so the 4th artifact in our original is N, so I'll eliminate D. F can't be 4th because it has 1, 2, 3 that have to be after it, so A should be the right answer. Question 9. If the figurine is 3rd, so we know that J, H, and T have to be after. H could occupy any of the spots after F here, and then J just has to be before T. Okay. So P is going to have to be before both H and N, which means P will be first and second, and those are all of the possibilities that we have. So which one of the following must be second? It has to be N. Didn't need to do all of that work. I could have just focused on the second position. But that's how you would do it, right? If you have a player in that group of 3 that could occupy any of the 3 positions, then that tends to be the easiest way to world split. Question 10. If the plaque is first, well, we have a bunch of examples of that, then how many artifacts are there, any one of which could be second? So it is actually possible that the figurine could be second instead, but for every other player, they have at least one other player that has to be ahead of them. So it could be N or F, so B, 2. All right, and question 11 is a substitution question. So these tend to be more challenging, but with this one we do have a relative position rule. So likely we're going to be dealing with a situation where we just have to look at the shadow rule in combination with the other rules. So the shadow rule here would be that the only players that could be, I guess, younger than the Turing. Yeah. So actually, let's see. So N and J, yeah, N and J are older than the Turing. So F is also older, but P and H don't have to be, right? So D, all of the artifacts except H and P must be older than the Turing, right? So the shadow rule for this one would be that the only players that must be earlier than T are N and J, therefore P, H, and F could be potentially younger, right? That they're sort of the exception, but because of the rule involving F and J, F can't actually be younger than the Turing, so these ones are the only ones that end up being involved. So D is the correct answer there. And you may have heard me mention before that this is a bit of a pattern when it comes to substitution questions and relative position rules. Okay, so we do see this in, I believe it's game 78, or sorry, game 3 from prep test 78. Okay. Or no, not game 3. I think it's game 4 from prep test 78, but it's definitely in prep test 78.